Hey everybody, I know it's kind of been a while. I've been doing some videos. I wanted to do my part two to the Beatles US album rating video. In my mind, I've been thinking a lot of things, and I've been kind of thinking on my mind lately. I'm going to start purging deleting some of my videos. So if you kind of were wondering, oh, where that video may be, I'm starting to kind of really get rid of a lot of my videos on my channel. An idea that I have in mind, and then I'm like, oh, maybe it kind of slips away, or kind of just I seem to just forget it off my mind. But no, I did not forget about my part 2 to my Beatles rating video, where I used the 1 to 5 scale. And where I left off, of course, was the album Help. So let's get back on that, right? Shall we? That's what this video is all about. This is the movie soundtrack from Help. Now, I kind of like the UK Help album a little bit more than I think this US, I think this is United Artists, I believe. Right? Or this might have been a Capitol. Sorry, my bad. The Help of the Hard Day's Night US album was from United Artists. But I think I'm going to give this maybe a B. Just because I think the instrumentals aren't really as great as I don't think the instrumentals they don't seem to really get me as much as the Hard Day's Night instrumentals, because I think the Hard Day's Night instrumentals are a little more jazzy. Here it's a little bit more Indian influence and all, which is cool. It's a little bit, campish, it sounds a little campy. Produced by Walter Shenson. Of course, Richard Lester, who's the director of this album. Yeah, I've given it a B, but I love, of course, Help. Who cannot deny the opening track of Help? Of course, you've got to hide your love away. Really, really good album, but I kind of prefer the UK, I think, a little bit over than the US album here, except for Disney Miss Lizzie, which ends the European album. Okay, and then after that is, you guessed it, Rubber Soul. Now this we actually have this original LP of the US version, and I also have the 2009. Of course, this is the 2009 CD audio version, plus also the UK one that I have on LP or whatever is from 2009. But yeah, if I had to give this a score, I might probably have to give this an A. I really love this album. Now, if I have to compare it over the European album, the version that has, Drive My Car and If I Needed Someone, I kind of maybe like that one a little bit more. I kind of prefer that version over this one a little bit. But this one, of course, opens up with a really good folky cover, which is I've Just Seen a Face, which of course is off of which I was just talking about, the Help UK album. Yeah, Norwegian Wood, of course, I love that song. Think for Yourself, oh, I love Think for Yourself, great stuff. Yeah, Michelle, of course, that was based off a song that McCartney had during the early 60s, I believe. Oh yeah, good stuff. And I'm looking through you, you're not the same. I love that song, Looking Through You, man. And of course, ending it off with Run for Your Life. Oh God. I hear that song and I feel a little cringe inside when I hear Run for Your Life, but it's not that bad. I do like the guitars. Sounds a lot like I'm Down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still give it A though. And of course, after that album, this has to be this right here that I have in my hand is my favorite United States, probably Beatles compilation, if you're thinking compilation here. And the Blue and Red album I love. But I love this album cover, and of course everyone knows that Butcher cover. But something about this album cover in particular strikes me. And that, of course, and the font too, is Yesterday and Today. I love this album. It's fantastic. all the songs are so great. Because you have I'm Only Sleeping, which is like the first version. It's like basically a little bit different than the Revolver version. Oh, and I love Dr. Robert. I'm starting to appreciate that song a little bit more, Dr. Robert. But one song that I don't really care, as maybe some like or whatever, is What Goes On. I don't know, something about Ringo's vocals and his singing in particular is a little bit, yeah, you know. And I think Act Natural is a little okay too, but yeah, that's Ringo's singing too. Of course, it ends with Day Tripper. Oh man, what a great ending to this. Giving this an S. It's a great U.S. album. Okay, after that, this is most prefer everybody's favorite Beatles album, right? Revolver. Of course. Except they left off the 3 Lennon songs, which I really, really love, and I wish they would have probably had put on here. But, of course, that's on this one here. You know, I'm Only Sleeping and all that. And Andrew Bird Can Sing and Dr. Robert, they're all on here. But here, it's not. They took those 3 songs off. You know, and to me, I'm still going to give this an S. It's really, really, I mean, what can deny the album cover in general and the songs, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is like in their deep psychedelia, you know. Really deep in that. I love the opening track, Taxman. Oh, Eleanor Rigby. Oh, man. Yep. And I want to tell you. I know some people hate that song. I kind of like that. I like that song a bit. And of course, the really great ending. The really great epic of Tomorrow Never Knows. Really great. Was inspired. They were, I think Lennon, he bought like a book on Timothy Leary, right? Was that his name? The author or whatever. It was like the book of psychedelic, whatever it was. Okay, after that, probably my favorite. I know I might be, you know, I might be kind of a little bit a cliche, but you know, I really love Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I'm giving it an S. Yes, I'm giving this an S because I think every track is fantastic. Now, I know some people, some YouTubers have kind of there's some Beatles fans that seem to not like this album, you know, because it's a little silly, a little, you know, some say a little bubblegummy. But I think this is a really great, you got Baroque pop here, you got psychedelic, sunshine, you know. And my favorite probably is definitely probably A Day in the Life. I really love A Day in the Life. That's probably the best on the album. And I love Good Morning, Good Morning. I know I'm wrong that I'm saying Good Morning, Good Morning is a great song, but you know. But what can be denied? You know, I really love the album cover. It's always attracted to me so much. And of course, you got old Bob Dylan up there. Of course, they included him up there. Giving that an S. Okay. And the Magical Mystery Tour. There's some reason I've never really cared too much about this album here. Besides the B-side, which of course has all the great singles that they came out in '67. But I think I'm going to give it within the scale. I'm probably going to give it about, I'm sorry, I think what am I grading this as letters? I can't remember, 1 to 5 scale, but anyways, a 5 for, yeah, 5 for Yesterday and Today. 4, and then probably Help, probably a 4. So I don't know if I think I was probably confusing myself there. I think I'm grading them within the 1 to 5 scale. But anyways, probably give this a 4.5. Some of the Magical Mystery Tour stuff I'm not really a big fan of, Flying's okay, the instrumental. But I do love the B-side, except for Baby You're a Rich Man, and All You Need Is Love, you know, it's okay. But anyways, pretty good stuff, you know. Of course, Penny Lane. That's my favorite on the Mystery Tour. Okay, then I've done many videos about this, the White Album. To be honest, I'm kind of mixed on the album. You know, I'm probably going to give about maybe a 4.5. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not really a huge fan on the album overall. But, you know, some cool stuff. You know, I like songs like Dear Prudence, of course, but, you know, you get Martha, My Dear. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of a mix to me, you know. But, of course, the album cover is pretty iconic since it's just all white, you know. Okay, then the Yellow Submarine. I know some of you folks don't really seem to care about this album. Me neither. I'm not really a big fan of it either. I'm not really a big fan of the orchestral stuff on you know, the other side of the disc. But I do love, of course, Yellow Submarine, which I know some fans seem to bash it. Only a Northern Song. I love that song. And Hey Bulldog. I was never a big fan of All Together Now. That's silly. And All You Need Is Love. I'm starting to think that I'm not really caring too much about All You Need Is Love. I don't know. Just don't really care about it as much, but I'll probably give it about a 3. You know, like the album cover, okay, but just a 3. Okay, then we get the great, iconic Abbey Road. You kidding me? Great stuff such as Come Together and Something. Yeah, there are a couple songs on the first I'm not really big on. Maxwell's Silver Hammer and Octopus's Garden. Yeah, you know. Of course, Here Comes the Sun. I love that song. And Because that comes afterwards. Then, of course, the you know, the other half, you get the medley of songs or whatever. Sun King and She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, which Joe Cocker did a really pretty good version of that song. I think it was from his second or third album, I believe. Yeah, and The End. Great way to just the end with all those, with them, you know, doing that instrumental stuff. But I think overall, I'm going to give about a B. You know, I mean, some people seem to just overpraise it a lot, but I mean, to me, I'm just going to give it, or excuse me, a 4. Here I go again doing the letter. Okay, 4 for Abbey Road. Maybe even a 4.5, or maybe even a 3.5. I'll probably go with that, 3.5, 4 for Abbey Road. Okay, then we get, of course, well, really this was their last kind of recording album, but really their last studio album that they had put out was, of course, this one, Let It Be. I'm starting to really appreciate a little bit more of Let It Be. I know some folks don't really seem to like it all that often because some of the some of the little bits on this, you know, on the album. But I do love the opening track, Two of Us. I love that, and I've Got a Feeling. Oh man, Paul rips on that song. I'm not really a big fan of the Get Back version on here. I like the Get Back single that Billy Preston's on the track or whatever. Of course, Let It Be. I mean, that's such an iconic song. Yeah. If I have to give it a rating, I would probably give the same rating as Abbey Road. I'm probably going to give about maybe like a 3.5, maybe a 4. I'm not really too, you know, whatever on the album. Okay, and then the last one. This is kind of the compilation, or whatever. And this is kind of my second of my favorite of those compilations, the U.S. albums or whatever. And I believe it came out just shortly before McCartney's debut, and I think Ringo's first album, I believe. It was, I think it was called like Sentimental Journey. Yeah, that old song. But anyways, they put out Hey Jude. You know, this was during their, you know, last days there of the band. But I really like the way they, you know, some of the, I love the way they have these songs really great, such as Now, my only complaint is that I wish they would have put the single version of Get Back on here. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure most people can agree with me on that. But definitely giving this a 5. It's a really great album. Some people seem to overshadow a little bit. I mean, of course you got Hey Jude, you know, and of course you got I Should Have Known Better. I mean, it seems a little odd that song's on there, but Capitol didn't own the rights to that song because the United Artists did. Lady Madonna. Yeah, great stuff. And oh my God, I love Rain. Really great that they put that on here. Yeah, so giving that a 5. But I think overall, though, I mean, if I had to say without a shadow of a doubt, as my, 5 across the board, with all songs being great, definitely Yesterday and Today is probably my favorite Capitol album from the Beatles. And there you have it, folks. I know it took me pretty long to follow up that first part or whatever, my rating, if you will. But yeah, hoping to get back doing more videos. And yeah, sadly, I'm going to start one by one deleting, a bunch of videos on my channel. Just what the heck. Maybe I'll kind of revisit some of those topics that I did back. But that's all I got to say. Okay, folks? Take care. Bye-bye.